The Circuit Shield Villeneuve is one of America's greatest racetracks. North America, of course. It's situated near the capital, Quebec, Montreal. We are here for Formula Renault 2.0, and this track is fantastic. It is fast with big braking ends, and that means for this Formula Renault 2.0 event today, you're going to want to set up that photo finish camera, because before you get to the start or finish line, you've got a long straightaway, and then, of course, the fabled Board of Champions. We kick off Sunday afternoons on Racesport TV after these messages. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome then to Sunday afternoon. It is the afternoon after the iRacing Indianapolis 500 saw a fantastic and fitting conclusion. Congratulations, of course, to all those who participated. If you missed it, check it out on the YouTube page on iRacing. But now, we go from one form of open wheel racing to another. This is Montreal, and qualifications are underway then for Sunday's edition of the Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. Will Vincent here, along with Jake Sperry. And hey, Jake, we're at Montreal here today, and this track, well, it's very fast. Three very defined sectors here. You want to have a car with aerodynamic grip, especially in Sector 2. You need big brakes, and actually, you need to figure out, do you want minimal downforce, and how are you going to approach this one?
Most certainly here, and today track conditions state it's a very hot one, 102 degrees Fahrenheit. This is all that you need to know about it. It's going to be an incredibly difficult one on the tyres. You're going to see these guys pushing for all 18 laps of this motor race, and well, it's so crucial because you have three different sections. You've got tight and twisty 1 and 2, and well, you got this third section which is all about going flat out here. Look at Xavier Sanchez in the number 5, already set a lap time so far. He's on a 1:35.1, 7/10 off of pole position at the moment. Head yourself through the final chicane. Missed the wall of champions on the right hand side. Oh, he gets so close to the wall there. He almost gives it a lovely little kiss as he drives to the line. Well, you're going to see what lap time he does. 35.1, 34.9. He jumps up.
Yeah, up to P number 5. Hugo Prieto is still leading the way though in qualifications as it stands. Prieto looking to potentially go a little bit faster as he works himself now through that very fast second chicane. We're on board of him as they head themselves, well, he heads himself now down towards the hairpin. Get that speed chart up for you, up to 135 miles an hour, and slows it all the way down. Lowest corner on track, down to 35 miles an hour on corner apex, and then you're flat out And that's a flat out for quite some time, actually. You want to know how long they're flat out for? It gets close about 20 seconds here. Flat out. It's actually one of the longest straightaways allowed by the FAA. Got a couple of kinks along the way in it. And you see, now it's about to slow it down for that final corner. The War of the Champions again on the right-hand side. Bienvenue en Quebec. Indeed, there you can see. Just scraping it past the start-finish line. He will come. Currently P number 1, looking to improve his time as he works himself past the stripe. He is going to actually not improve there. So that is his qualification done. 2 minutes left in qualifying. We've got ourselves Dylan van den Berg then. He's on a lap, Jake, and he's now coming down towards the hairpin.
Yes, he is, and well, he'll be looking to try and get himself a little bit quicker here at the moment. He is pushing himself P number 4 at the moment and looking to try and get himself up as high as he possibly can, but there is a name to note here, Will, who is surprisingly down the order with 1 lap to go, and that is the number 3 machine. That's Kazuki Mishima. He hasn't set a lap time yet, and I just think here, Will, that he might be in a little bit of trouble if he can't make it back to the stripe.
Yeah, so we'll turn our attention then to Kazuki Mishima. You'll remember, of course, it was a couple of years ago in June 2014 when Umeshima almost climbed the mountain and did the impossible, winning the World Championship event from Gregor Hooter. He dominated much of the event, then 4 laps to go. He hit the War of the Champions, and he is so fast. He is on a lap as we speak, but he is in a bit of trouble right now. He's got to get himself back past the stripe, get himself going. He's got 1 minute then to do so, and we stay on board then with that Radicals Online machine. Out of the hairpin he comes, working himself now on this very fast, flat out section of racetrack, and it is really fast. You can see it does have its little kinks and little bends along it. 145 miles an hour as you now come down in towards the War of the Champions chicane. Out the final chicane he comes. What will Kazuki Umeshima do as he works himself towards the stripe? The answer is going to be 134.2 to the top of the timing stands, Jake.
Perfect lap time, and was there ever any doubt where we were worrying about time? But in the end, it seems that he did everything he needs to do. I believe all cars are finished right now, Will, so this is going to be, well, you should take us through it, your qualifying results.
Indeed it is. So qualifying is now pretty much in the books. There's a checkered flag, and here is your grid for this afternoon's event. You'll see it now up on your screen. Umeshima then 134.288. Hugo Prato relegated down to 2nd place in the final moments of qualifying. Yuka Soverline in the 3rd, and Nicholas Landau in P number 4. Cycle on back, Dylan van den Berg, Jan Suter in row number 3, Nick Thiessen and Gonzalo Camara, and then running out your top 10 is Xavier Sanchez and Mark Usher. There is the remainder of your field. It's a nice field here today. We've got ourselves 24 drivers, so it means that traffic might be a factor. We're not completely sure, but of course these guys now just need to make sure they get themselves through lap number 1. 2 drivers didn't qualify, Kevin Mosser and Scott McIntyre. So that is qualifying. This is the race about to come up then. They are gridding. They're working themselves down on towards the starting grid for this afternoon's event. And there's then a quick look at this fantastic racing facility. You can see pit lane on the left hand side. You can also see turn 5 and 6 down that shot, and of course this is the hairpin section of the track. That's also the Olympic rowing basin that was used, of course, when Montreal hosted the Olympics. Track almost kind of built around that one. It's a man-made island here, and there is the run through the trees. That is turn 3, 4 and 5. As our aerial coverage today is brought to you by And1 Design, the official graphics partner of Racebot TV. Apparently also by Quaker State, real durable oil. And also Napa auto parts, because they're there, apparently, on the screen. So here we are then, waiting for the drivers to finish off that gridding process. They've got to get themselves ready and get themselves ready to race here. So as soon as they've done that, the cars are on the grid, which they've all just about done now. We are going to be set to go racing for 18 laps here at Montreal. Lights are on, lights are off, and we are away then here at Montreal as the guys will come down in towards turn 1 for the first time. There's a look. Will they all survive? Of course, this is where a Lacey flipped in 1999. They are 3 wide down your back. We've got a car spun around, and that was from about P number 2, Jake.
Yes, it was, and I believe that is the number 1 machine, and that is Jukka Savalainen, qualified 3rd. Got himself there a little bit too heavy there on the accelerator, didn't brake enough, and well, the car flipped itself around. He now drops to the back of the field, but behind, there's some lovely 2 wide scraps here, heading themselves along towards turns 5 and 6. Watch out for Phil Reed here, just heads himself through on David Arake.
Yeah, there you can see the field going past Yukos over the line. Unfortunately, we can't get ourselves a full replay of it, so we're going to turn our attention towards the front of the screen on board with Wanchita right now as he works himself then down towards the middle section of the lap. In fact, they're going to go side by side as they work themselves in towards the second chicane right about now. There you can see Shooter and that Petronas machine. Good actually slide there, able to move himself into that 5th position where he runs for the time being. Out front though, Umashima with a 6 tenths per second advantage over Hugo Prato as your fields now going to work themselves with the hairpin for the first of 18 laps. Next decent there, Mark Usher. They go side by side through the hairpin, out the hairpin, back onto the long straightaway, and this is going to be a drag race then.
We've got actually some incident at the back here, Will, and it's very unfortunate. I believe that is Gresham Wagner here, who is slow and on the outside there. Hasn't worked out turn around at the hairpin, but you can see these cars now starting to look. Trains 2, 3 wide. Thyssen, Usher, that's going to be the one we're focusing on here, down into the final chicane. Is there going to be any movers and shakers? Well, Mark Usher has the position for the moment, and behind you can see Kamara and Sanchez and Phil Reed as well, all looking to try and push themselves up one more position. They've just got to wait a little bit longer.
They have indeed, and actually Hugo Prato lost out a couple of tenths per second there on the straight, so now he's a second behind Umashima, and then Dylan van den Berg runs himself in 3rd. He's also now second behind Hugo Prato. There we can see them. The gap's opening up early, but Nick Thiessen and Mark Usher, they are your 2 closest drivers. Thiessen couldn't actually get that move complete. We're on board of him again in that number 7 machine as they work themselves now. This is a very difficult section of corners, and actually, Jake, it's where that aerodynamic grip becomes so important.
Yes, it is really important. You have to make sure that you're getting the roll correct there. You're not getting unsettled by any wind changes so far on the circuit. You're now heading yourself down towards the second chicane, one of the most difficult parts of the circuit because you're braking down and, well, you're always turning a little bit right anyway, so there's a chance of locking up into the right, into the left. No road troubles, and here is the part of the track here, Will, where Robert Kubica had the horror crash in 2007. Well, it's showing right now. Nick Thiessen wants to get in on the act there, but he's going to wait for the time being, wait for the opportunity to arise.
Yeah, we saw Miguel Basler. I'm not even going to pronounce that surname. You can't put an X and a Q together. I'm sorry, and they get me to pronounce that one. But Miguel, number 10 machine, you can see he just taps the rear of the car, gets himself turned around. It's one of those slow, horrible spins down at the second chicane. He is now well down your field as Matt Maloney is scrapping it out right now. And Nick Thiessen and Mark Usher again, side by side, down towards that final chicane. And it looks as though the two's almost going to come together. Usher puts dangerously there close to the wall of champions.
Yes, he does there. It's not ideal, but now you can see he's going to be under threat. Gonzalo Camara there in the 21 machine having a look here. And, well, here comes Mark Usher back again, down it towards turn number 1. And, oh, they're going to tap. They're going to tap, they're going to turn each other around. Oh, my word, it's all ended in tears here. And, well, 2 cars around, not ideal at all. And, well, they're going to have to wait for the whole field to pass.
Nick Thiessen reversed into Mark Usher. He was not happy with that one at all. Let's ride this one then on the replay along board with Nick Thiessen. As you see, they come into the corner, they make contact once, they make contact again. Nick Thiessen there in that number 9 machine, and actually Thiessen was just a little bit dangerous in getting himself back on track. He did try and reverse the car out of the way. They always say first thing you want to do is just keep that car straight and let people go around you. That means that we've now lost ourselves a good battle inside your top 10. We've got another one on immediately. Gonzalo Camara scrapping it out right now. And he's just lost position to the driver now in 8th place, and that is Xavier Sanchez.
Yes, he's done a fantastic job. And don't forget this massive train behind with David Jarvis, Ollie Quokka there, Juni Savasti and Kevin Mostert here. Fight here for your lower half of your top, top half of your top 20 or what have you. Here as they head themselves down in towards the hairpin once again. Xavier Sanchez just getting away, and you can see them already running too wide, looking to try and push that momentum going here. Ollie Quokka's going to have to be careful. He might lose the slipstream run here, and well, they're going to go side by side. And we're actually going back to a driver you were talking about earlier, challenge accepted, Miguel Ballester Izquierdo here. He's done a good job actually to recover here because he's right behind Daniel Negreras.
You do something I didn't there, Jake. As you can see, these 3 guys separated by nothing in towards the final chicane. Got to be careful, and actually, these guys are lucky that they don't have to make a pit stop. Oh, we've got our first car into the World of Champions then. That's one driver, and he, I believe that might well have been Ollie Quokka there in the number 8 machine. He caught another guy out with him. That was a recovering Jukka Sovalainen there. So Quokka is our first driver to hit the World of Champions. Replay of that one up, and Sovalainen was just kind of caught there as a consequence.
Yes, he was. He had nowhere to go, and well, when you have nowhere to go, it's a one-line-fits-all sort of corner, and when one car gets it wrong, the rest are surely there to follow. Not ideal at all, and well, it hasn't seemingly done too much for Ollie Quokka's race. It hasn't seemingly done too much for Savalainen's race. They might have just fallen off the back, but the fact that Mostert and Silvastri right now are still fighting is going to be part and parcel of it. And actually, Gonzalo Camara here, he's going incredibly slow. There might be a problem.
Yeah, there you can see number 21 machine. He looks as though he's going to lose the place of David Jarvis as they come down into the second chicane. I don't think that's going to be a course cut penalty. Let's see whether he accelerates better out of this corner. It's a little bit better there. A little better, we think. Although he might well lose another couple of places down into the hairpin. There you can see Gonzalo Camara is going to lose potentially one. He might lose a second, but he's going to go round the long way. And indeed, he will lose a second. Gets very loose also out of the hairpin. Now they'll cut themselves down that back straight away once again. Should we check in on your leaders? No, we'll stick it with this one for a moment, because it looks like the number 21 machine wants to try and get back up, but he does seem not to be very fast in a straight line, Jake.
Yeah, that's seeming to be the problem here, and well, you're always going to have one weakness, and actually he's going to come down into pit road, Will. I think there is some definite damage there. Yeah. That's going to be his race over.
Yeah, so he's on pit road then. It looks like his day is going to be done. But we've got ourselves then, oh, we've got Xavier Sanchez as well. It looks like he was just a bit slow, but he's okay. We'll carry on, no worries. We've still got these two little battles going on. We've got ourselves the driver David Jarvis versus Savastri. This is a battle for P number 11 as we ride along board with that number 24 machine, Jake.
Yes, we do. Juni Savastri there looking a little bit worried with Kevin Mostert there behind. Certainly going to be one that you need to focus on right now here as they head themselves through the long right-hander of turn number 5. Now into the braking zone. Actually gets it horribly wrong. Kevin Mostert behind. Lucky to avoid the back there of Juni Savastri. But he is going to lose 2 positions. Is he going to lose 3 positions? Here comes Ollie Quokka here to the inside. And well, I think he might just have lost a 3rd.
Yeah, there we can see then Kevin Mostert having a look. In fact, our replay again is not working, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to go and have a look then at Hugo Preto instead. He runs himself in P number 2 as it stands, but Kazuki Umeshima is leading your motor race right now by 2.8 seconds. To talk about how fast Umeshima is here, he's driving away with this field.
Yes, he is, and it seemingly seemed that from the last 3 broadcasts we've done here on a Sunday afternoon that Kazuki Umeshima has just dominated absolutely everyone. You can see Hugo Preto, he's loving the track here, but he's just not quite close enough. Dylan Vandenberg here having a good job, and actually an important scrap to mention here is going to be, actually we're going to go back, Phil Reed's just had an incident at the Wall of Champions.
Yep, there is Phil Reed, and you can see that car is going to be slow. Let's see if we can get ourselves a second look at that one as we go on board into the Wall of the Champions. We're riding on board then with Phil Reed, number 17 machine. Comes in. Oh, he just avoids that one, Jake.
Oh, well, he's lucky that he had a portal there on that wall there. Aperture Motorsports now looking to try and get back at David. Actually, he has another massive incident. Almost hits the wall again down at turn number 4. Oh, he's running with a cat with 9. Actually, he does tag it. Unbelievable scenes here for Phil Reed here. He's just chancing his luck, and I think this is what you call the red mist descending. Yep,
and of course he's got David Williams about 4 tenths of a second just ahead of him. He wants to push it right now. That is the reason why. Last time by, though, Williams would say he did a 135.3, so he is faster than Phil Reed. Reed just pushing that car, and again, down at the second chicane. I've just got a feeling that maybe he's overworked those tyres a little bit. They're getting a little bit too hot. Just need to calm it down for a moment, potentially. Get some grip back into them before they come down into the Wall of Champions section again. Behind David Jarvis, Matt Malone. They're going to go side by side in towards the hairpin.
Yes, they are. You can see there that Matt Malone is going to make that one look very, very comfortable there. The number 12 machine gets ahead there, the driver from Illinois, and actually he's not going to get this one fully sorted because David Jarvis is going to come right back at him here down his back straightaway. I think he's just got the run sorted, so top end speed, not the advantage then for Matt Malone. He's going to have to wait behind for the time being. David Jarvis here through the final chicane they come along, and well, all's hunky-dory.
Yep, as we'll see, just a little bit further ahead we have ourselves, actually no, the battle of Phil Reed and David Williams that goes on. Williams actually a slow run there out of turn number 2. This gives Reed now the opportunity to push. Talk us through then this sequence of corners from here down to the hairpin, Jake.
Yes, 3 and 4, very, very tight corners here, and then you hit the small kink 5, long right-hander of 6, grip so important to get right. It's all about that run. Down on the braking in towards this turn number 7 corner. Absolutely fantastic here. And then you head yourself through the next right-hander here. You're always trying to get on your throttle as quickly as you possibly can here. And Fury's going to use that slipstream here as you're ever turning right. Of course, a street circuit this is, so it's always going to be very tight. It's going to be a little bit dirty on the outside line, into the right left. Arguably toughest part of the corner here. You're always looking to push that barriers, but of course, barriers are right next to the track. No margin for error. Head yourself down towards the hairpin. Phil Reed just starting to struggle a little bit, starting to fall a little bit further behind.
Yep. There we can see on the run out of the hairpin, these two will work themselves once again. But here are your movers and shakers in the event so far. It's worth noting that Phil Reed is up 6 places. David Jarvis is up 12 places in this event so far. But this one is one really where there's still a lot that can happen. We're getting ourselves close to half-ish way distance, Jake. That'll be in about 2 laps' time. Does seem to be we've got some good field spread, but oh, we got a car off there. Is that Williams who just went off? Indeed, it was. So he's going to have to slow down dramatically as a consequence. Well, Williams, yeah, slow down penalty there for David Williams, and that is for overshooting that wall of champion chicane. Let's have another look on board of him.
Yeah, he just seems he outbroke himself, and well, you try and thread the gap there and don't want to go over the sausage curb, but well, it's so harsh here when you get that penalty. You're going to have to yield the time here, and well, he's going to have to do it, and well, he'll let Xavier Sanchez back in with a sniff. Phil Reed, he will jump himself then into position number 6, and well, next to him is Nicola Landau and Jan Switzer. Gap between them is a second here, Will, so that might have potential come end of the race.
It will do indeed, as we'll just see there. Top 15 on the left-hand side of your screen. There are your gaps. 15 separated by 32.5 seconds on track right now. Let's turn our attention back then to Jarvis versus Malone. That's actually no. Let's go forward. Nicholas Lando versus Juan Schuster. This is one that's just slowly starting to appear on our radar. 2 trading lap times right now in the 135.2, 135.3 range.
Yeah, they are. They're really pushing each other here, trying to get the best they can possibly do out of the car. You can see them heading themselves down this back straightaway once again. And for Jan Schwitter, he's up 2 positions. Nicola Landau, he is down 1 at the moment. Compare it to their qualifying lap times. They're only about 4 or 5 tenths of a second off of it. So that's really good consistency values that they're putting out there here through this final section. And well, you can see just how hard they're pushing all over that green rumble strip.
Yep. As we go on board then with Nicholas Lando. So that gap's actually just increased now to about half a second between those 2 people. You've still got the one on Matt Malone. We're going to turn our attention back to this one because it's the closest battle we've got on track. We've got 3 drivers out of the race. We've got ourselves Justin Wagner, we've got Nick Thiessen, and we've got Miguel as well out of this event. But still got ourselves 21 drivers on the lead lap, Jake.
Yes, we do, and well, it's just testament to how these drivers are pushing themselves here to the limits and actually keeping it rather clean here. And well, you can see actually Matt Malone incredibly close now behind is Juni Silvasti here as they head themselves through 3 and 4 and now heading themselves further along the circuit here in towards the next little chicane area that's going to crop up into the left-hander. Then they come along, and well, you can see right now Silvasti, it's kind of a case of through the tight and twisty sections, Silvasti can't get close enough, but down along straightaway and down on the brakes, he's starting to close up.
He is indeed then, as we'll see. Well, the reason why we're not showing the banner out front because the gaps are static. Last time by, 134.690 for Kazuki Umeshima. We'll run through the top 5 briefly. Umeshima started on pole, running in pole last time by. He just eased it down a little bit. P number 2, Hugo Preto. Last time by 135.041. So actually, still about half a second a lap slower than Kazuki Umeshima. Dylan van der Berg, there you can see him at 135.2. So he did lose a couple of turns and again ran very wide on the exit of that final corner. As we can see there, there's a grandstand. And there you can see Dylan van der Berg once again. So he runs himself in P number 3.
Oh, actually, David Williams just hit the wall of champions.
Let's get ourselves another look at that one then. David Williams, Wall of Champions, and it seems to be kicking up a lot of people today. There's another look on board with David Williams. Let's listen in. Oh, he was very lucky he hit that one square. But he almost careered across the track, and if he'd hit that inside wall, that really would have been a big incident on track, Jake.
Yes, it would have done. He's let Xavier Sanchez back through in the number 5 machine. And well, David Williams has got to worry because David Jarvis here will start to push himself back in through back into the rhythm. He's just got to keep his rhythm together here as David Williams, and well, he can't afford many more mistakes, of course, because 18 laps, he's only just over halfway, and if he's throwing the car around like he is right now, I doubt we'll see him at the end of the race.
Yeah, Kevin Mossart there down to the inside of Uni Savati as they'll come. No, he's actually going to stay on the outside, and he's going to put good pressure, and this is going to give him a fantastic run out the corner. That is overtaking 101. Force your opponent into a mistake, and that is what Kevin Mossart does there in that number 11 machine. Mossart up into P number 10.
Yes, he is there. Juni Savasti ran a little bit wide there, just tried to be the last of the late break as well. You got to try and commit to the corner and make sure you carry your line perfectly. He didn't. He now falls behind. He's now got to wait for his opportunity here. And well, actually, something to note here is Mark Usher still fighting his way back up through the field. He's back up to 14th here, Will. And next up on track for him is Henrik Lindhoff.
Yep. As well, Linda. Oh, we've got another car off, and that's Chris Malcolm there. Number 20 machine is on pit road. He is out of this one. Let's figure out what happened to him. This seems to be higher. Tristan! And he slams into, well, that was down, I believe, at the second chicane, actually. We'll get ourselves another look at that one if we can. Here we are. Maybe. Let's have a look. Malcolm. Yeah, this is down into the second chicane then. So he's going to cut back around the trees. And we're just going to hopefully get a decent camera angle to show this one to you. Heads himself then. Gets himself onto a curb. Slams it into the Armco barrier. His day is done, Jake.
Yes, it is, and well, actually, someone else who's had a little bit of a slow last lap is Phil Reed, because he has just dropped behind Xavier Sanchez. But going back to the fact with Chris Malcolm's incident there, he just got himself a little bit caught up on the curb. Car went around, not enough time to get the car sorted again here down at this right left here. And actually, look at Phil Reed. He is under huge pressure right now. I think there's damage on his car here. David Williams straight through.
Yeah, there's Phil Reed. As you'll see, they'll head themselves in towards the hairpin. Yeah, something big has happened to Phil Reed. You can see he can't even keep that car under control. We'll see if we get ourselves another look then. Phil Reed, we're riding on board, and he's already lost time at this point. So it must have been sector number 1. Something had happened to him. I think actually on that downhill chicane for Phil Reed, because that car, no, I think he had it from the lap before. He was struggling all through 1 and 2. I think he might have hit the Wall of Champions himself there, Jake.
Yeah, he was 3 seconds a lap slower last time by, and well, you can see he dropped himself off into pit lane. His race is done, and no portal is going to help you there, Phil, for your Aperture Motorsports team. Yep,
as he brings that car finally on towards pit road then, but it looks as though that car is going to be taken behind the wall, and it looks as though it's going to be race over for him. Phil Reed now falling down your timing and scoring machines. We have got a battle going on just towards the rear of your field a little bit there. As you can see, David Arek there and Gonzalo Camara. Camara, number 21 machine, looking to the outside as they come down to the final chicane, and he gets that one done easily, Jake.
Yes, he does there. It's the same Gonzalo Camara who came in for pit stops, came back out again, and oh, he's going to lose it. And he's lucky. He's only just tapped that inside barrier there. Made sure he avoided the Wall of Champions. Think there's a little bit of cosmetic damage there on the front wing. Not ideal at all, but Camara, his day goes from bad to worse.
Oh, this is what happens when you have high temperatures. You can see there, track temperature 104 degrees and a 13-kilometer wind right now. And for Camara, well, it looks as though that he just lost it coming in, touched the curb. Yeah, too aggressive on the second part of the curb. And well, it's worth talking about that one, Jake, because a lot of the curbs here at Montreal, the inner part of it is designed to be run and abused, but then often you have sausage curbs just on the outside of it. That is what you don't want to touch.
Yes, it's very crucial that you're not touching the sausage curbs. Of course, you get your car up in the air on 2 wheels. Once your car's on 2 wheels, you lose a lot of grip. And well, when you don't have those 4 wheels on the bottom end of your car, it's not going to be ideal. You're going to lose all grip. You're going to lose opportunity. It's actually David Jarvis into the Wall of Champions once again.
Oh, it's been a long, hard day for that wall, and it looks as though things just keep getting worse for drivers. The Wall of Champions is biting and biting hard. This is why it has that reputation. It started in 1999, but we've now got another driver who has fallen victim today. There we can see the super slow-mo replay coming off the corner. This time he caught the sausage curb the other way, got himself loose, caught the Wall of Champions, and that is a case of so long, good night. He is going to be classified as potentially also out of the motor race. We talked about one developing a little bit later on. It has started to develop. This one is between Dylan van der Berg and Hugo Prater. This is a battle for P number 2 on track. It has come down to about now 1.9 seconds. It does seem to be in the second stage of this race, Dylan van der Berg is faster on track. And last time by, actually did a 134.7 to 134.9. So he is slowly closing that gap in, Jake.
Yes, he is. In the lap before, he was 7/10 quicker over the lap. So, Dylan van den Berg, he's getting the hurry-up message here. He wants to go in for a fine. Actually, look at Hugo Prato, runs a little bit wide through that section. He's going to completely compromise his run through that final corner. And, well, you're going to see the times come down here. Just look at the clock here for Hugo Prato. Here he does a 35.2. Look at Dylan van den Berg when he crosses the line. 34.8. Another 0.4 of a second, Will, and well, with about 5 laps to go in your motor race, 0.4 of a second, he's going to catch.
Indeed, we ride on board then. Gap now down to 1.6 seconds. 1.6 seconds is the gap, as we've got ourselves still a couple of drivers who's trying to move themselves back up through the field. Let's get ourselves a look. And let's have a look again at your movers and shakers. Montreal now up 15 places. Jarvis up 12. Some big movers then from the rear of the field to the front. And this is a track where you can do it here at Montreal. You can move yourself through the field. It doesn't have to be single file racing the entire time. And even though we get bigger gaps, Jake, you can actually find your way through from a bad start. And Lucas Overlining, though, of course, spun on lap number 1, turn number 1. He's only recovered up to P number 16.
Yes, you have to remember, he also got caught up in the Wall of Champions in a separate instant. He would have been a lot further up had that not been the case, but now you see he's now down the field. You look at likes of David Williams up 5 positions, Kevin Mostert, you said, up 15. They're doing a fantastic job, and well, it's certainly not going to be over in terms of the racing. It's certainly going to be one to enjoy as the last 5 laps to go. We've forgotten completely about Kazuki Umeshima, Will. He's got a 10-second gap.
He has got a 10-second gap. Kazuki Umeshima is doing fantastically right now. He comes then down into turn number 1 and into turn number 2 in that Radicals and line machine. And well, Umeshima, he's just got such incredible car control, Jay. As we look on board of him again for a couple of corners, you just see he's doing little movements on the car there, but all of them he's doing, keeping the car balanced. And sometimes it is good to have a twitchy rear end, but at other times you want to be smooth, as he is now, as he works himself through 4 and 5.
Yes, it's poetry in motion here as you look at Kazuki Umeshima. It reminds me like a cherry blossom that you'd see in his native homeland. Absolutely beautiful to watch. Stunning here. He's like a samurai the way he wields his car through the corners, and he's doing a fantastic job. He's got another massive gap, as he has done for the past 2 broadcasts we've been doing here on these weekly shows that we do. It's stunning to see, Will. He's just flying.
Looking back to the number 11 machine, David Williams last time by. Well, Monster much faster than David Williams, and this looks as though this could be over by the end of this lap. And Jake, talk us through it then. 3.5 laps to go. Monster wants more than just P at number 8. And in fact, if he carries on at this rate, he could be looking at P6 before the end of this one.
Yes, he can, and where you can see he takes an incredibly wide line there through the second part of that chicane, heading up towards the hairpin. You can see the lap times here, they were coming down. He's been doing stunning lap times, 34.3s, 34.5s, same pace as the leader, Kazuki Umeshima. You look at the pace of David Williams, 35.6, 35.3. He's 1 second a lap quicker, and well, it's certainly showing right now here because he's right underneath, tucked in that slipstream, going to use all that extra punch that you get when you're not behind in that, trying to push yourself through the air. And well, for David Williams, he's going to be just waiting, looking ominously in his mirrors down into the final chicane. And right now, Will, you have to say the pressure is surely telling.
It is. Gap down to 4 tenths per second. 3 laps of this motor race to go. And Williams versus Mostert now. This is a very, very close battle. We're looking on board from the rear of Williams, and in fact, almost he lost it there. This is now going to get the opportunity quickly. Mostert wants to get this one done quickly because they are both closing up to Javier Sanchez right now, who runs himself in P6.
Yes, they are, and where you can see David Williams desperate here to hold on, and another little twitch, doesn't run it wide, that's not smooth through that second part of the chicane. And actually, this might be the opportunity down on the brakes. We've seen Mostert lose it once before here, but no, he's going to keep the car planted, wait behind, look for the opportunity, find that chink in the armour, find the little bit of a mistake that he is really looking for. He's really pushing here, Will, just to find that gap. And with Xavier Sanchez up ahead here, who is doing not the best of jobs here, is actually, you're going to see he had a little look, but not quite close enough.
Yeah, so Williams is catching Sanchez and Mostert is catching Williams here. There'll be 2 to go the next time these guys cross the start-finish line. There you can see top 8, bottom of your screen as it stands right now. But Mozart, I just don't think he actually has the downforce coming. He's got too much downforce, I actually think, Jake. Which is why you'll see from the speed chart right now, he's not actually as quick, we can think, in a straight line compared to David Williams. Now he gets that slipstream, but he's not really going to be alongside. He's going to have to go around the long way as well. I think that Williams is making a bad call here, because the more these two keep on fighting, they're not going to get the opportunity to really close up to Williams. And actually, Mozart there, very heavy over the curves.
Yes, he was, and that's completely sacrificed his run, and it's going to take a lot of work to get himself back. And maybe it's just the dirty air effect, Will. You remember when you're right behind these cars, it's so much more difficult because you get so much more, well, so much less grip, so much more heat driven into those tyres that you overheat them almost, just running behind. And, well, he's struggling at the moment, and he's trying to get himself back onto the back, but I don't think he can make that move. He's tried at every single orifice to try and make that move. It's not happened.
Mark Usher versus Henrik Lindorf. That one's still going on as well. P number 12, P13 as it stands. So we're realistically now down to the last 3 minutes of this event. Don't forget, later on, by the way, we have got ourselves we've got ourselves 2K action. It's a 2-hour race, and that one will be coming up in a couple of hours here on Racesport TV and on iRacing Live. Mozart close once again. David Williams, no, not just yet.
But he's going to run incredibly wide on exit there, Will, and you're going to see them side by side to the hairpin inside line advantage going to David Williams. He's looking to try and push it here. No room being given here. Room being given. Dancing onto the brakes, and what you have to say here, David Williams doing the right thing, but they're going to remain side by side. Down his back straight away, and actually no, he's going to have to yield it here. Mostert going ahead, but Williams is now going to look to get that slipstream run again.
Yep, so as it stands right now, we are onto the white flag lap. If your name is Kazuki Omishima, Williams is going to want a second bite of the cherry here. He looks himself down to the inside again, and actually that last time by, Xavier Sanchez has pulled out an advantage, so Williams side by side over the curb there will go the driver of Kevin Mostert. But wow, one more lap to go, and Williams isn't relinquishing.
No, certainly not. You're looking at Kevin Mostert doing everything he possibly can here to find a way through. And while he had the move done, he had the man beat, but no, he wouldn't stay down, he wouldn't die. And well, you have to say that Kevin Mostert's tried everything, and nothing is working right now. Head themselves through 3 and 4, not quite the opportunity. I think this one's done.
Yeah, it's been a close one, but as it stands then, it looks as though that it could be over for now. Mozart pushed hard, but he couldn't do any more. Here then is Kazuki Umeshima. He heads himself out of the hairpin for the final time, and now it's just a case of doing one more corner. What a dominant drive by Kazuki Umeshima once again. Of course, he came close to winning a bigger race than this at this track before, but today it will all be about Kazuki Umeshima and that Radicals and Lime number 3 machine. Out of the final corner he will come. Kazuki Umeshima will win here the Sunday edition of Formula Renault Championship, and past the line he comes. Umeshima will take victory. Second place will go to Hugo Preto there. As you can see, Preto working himself past the start-finish line now, and Dylan van der Berg will round out your top 3. Actually, at the end of this motor race, van der Berg couldn't really do anything over the driver of Hugo Preto. Schwito there coming home in 4th. Nicholas Laundo coming home in the top 5. So there's your top 5. Mozart there, not close over Williams at all. But what a race here today for Kazuki Umeshima, Jake.
Yes, he did everything he needs to do. He saw the gap develop early on. He made sure he got out ahead of Hugo Preto, and of course, qualifying was very important. He got pole in the dying seconds as well. Did everything right, and well, there's someone that we do need to talk about here, and it's Duka Stavalainen. What could he have done had it not have been for that spin? Had it not have been for that crash down at the Wall of Champions, Will?
Yep, indeed, sir. He comes home in P number 16. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, here is a look then at your final race results. Kazuki Umeshima wins out in 12.3 seconds ahead of the field. Hugo Preto in 2nd, Dylan van der Berg in 3rd, Jan Schwieter in 4th, Nicholas Landau rounds out your top 5. And there you can see there the rest of your top 10 up on your screen. And retirees, we did have a couple here today. The War of the Champions bit, and it bit hard. A couple of drivers having to come on towards pit road as well to get some repairs. And that is, of course, shown up in your results. It is worth noting Yuka Silverlining having to drive from the rear after having some incidents. Turn number 1, lap number 1. He had to basically drive through the field. He only managed to make it up to P number 16. And there you can see then some of the retirees in your field as well here today as we tick it through the final set of your result. So 2K action coming up in 90 minutes here on Raceport TV. This has been a Raceport TV presentation of the Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. That guy has been Jake Sperry. I've been Will Vincent, and we will see you all in just 90 minutes time. Bye bye.